أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Surah 84, Al-inshiqaq, the rending asunder. Title. The surah's title is based on its opening word, inshiqaq, of which the root word inshiqaq stands for the rending asunder of something. This surah is so known because it informs man of the rending asunder of the sky on the last day. Period of revelation. This too is one of the surahs revealed in the early days of the Meccan period. It appears from its contents that the phase of physical torture of the Muslims had not by then begun. However, the call to Islam was openly derided and rejected in Mecca. The concept of the hereafter was ridiculed, and the Meccans denied altogether that one day they would have to appear before Allah for rendering their accounts. Subject matter and themes. The last day and the hereafter are the surah's main subject matter. Verses 1 to 5 portray the scene on the last day and affirm this reality. These verses proclaim that on that day the sky shall be rent asunder, the earth shall be stretched out, and it will cast out what is within it, i.e., parts of dead bodies and evidence of man's actions. All this will happen in accordance with the command of the Lord of the sky and the earth. Being created entities, they cannot dare disobey Him. They will readily hearken to the command of their Lord. Verses 6 to 19 assert that man has been consciously or unconsciously on his way to meet his Lord. On the day of reckoning, human beings will be placed into two groups. 1. Those who will be given their record in their right hands, and they will attain deliverance after being called to an easy accounting. 2. Those who will be given their record behind their backs. They will wish for death, yet they will enter the blazing fire. They will be punished for the mistaken belief that they would never revert to their Lord. However, their Lord watched all their actions. They were thus bound to face divine reckoning. Their punishment is as certain and inevitable as the setting of the sun, or the alternation of day and night, or the crescent reaching its fullness. The unbelievers are given the tiding of painful chastisement for their crime of calling the Quran a lie, rather than prostrating themselves before Allah as they should have done. The believers who do good deeds are promised an unending reward.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate.
إذا السماء انشقت
When the sky is rent asunder
وأذنت لربها وحقت
and hearkens to the command of its Lord, doing what it should.
وإذا الأرض مدت
And when the earth is stretched out, when the earth is stretched out refers to the time when the seas and rivers will be filled up, the mountains will be reduced to particles of dust that will be made to dissipate, and the earth will be leveled and turned into a flat plain.
وألقت ما فيها وتخلت
And casts out what is within it, and is emptied. This refers to the fact that the earth will throw up the dead that had lain buried within it. This will bring to the surface all evidence pertaining to their deeds that had thus far remained hidden from sight. Nothing regarding them will then remain unknown.
وأذنت لربها وحقت
And hearkens to the command of its Lord, doing what it should.
يا أيها الإنسان إنك كادح إلى ربك كدحا فملاقيه.
O man, you are striving unto your Lord, and you will meet Him.
فأما من أوتي كتابه بيمينه
Whoever is given the record in his right hand
فسوف يحاسب حسابا يسيرا
shall be called to an easy accounting. That someone should be given the record in his right hand is indicative of his being a righteous person. As a result, he will be subjected to a relatively light reckoning. In other words, such people will not be subjected to strict interrogation as to why they committed certain deeds, nor will they be asked to produce extenuating explanation for their misdeeds. Likewise, even though there will be evil along with good deeds in their record, forbearance will be shown to them because their good deeds will outweigh their evil deeds, and they will be forgiven.
وينقلب إلى أهله مسرورا
And shall return to his people joyfully. And shall return to his people joyfully. His people denotes those members of a person's family and those relatives and companions who will be forgiven in the same manner that he himself was forgiven.
وأما من أوتي كتابه وراء ظهره
But he who is given the record behind his back, it is stated in Al-Haqqa 69:25 that the record of an unrighteous person will be handed over to him in his left hand. Here, however, it is stated that such people will be given the book behind their backs. What will probably happen is that when a person's record will be given to people to hold it in their left hand, they will be greatly embarrassed. They will therefore put their hand behind their back so as to receive their record. But this effort to hide will not be of much avail, for in any case they will still be handed their record. What difference will it then make whether they receive their record with their hand outstretched, and hence in the full sight of others, or behind their backs?
فسوف يدعو ثبورا
Shall cry for perdition,
ويصلى سعيرا
and will enter the blazing fire.
إنه كان في أهله مسرورا
He used to live joyfully among his people.
إنه ظن أن لن يحور
Thinking he would never revert to us.
بلى إن ربه كان به بصيرا
But no, how would he not revert? His Lord was ever watching him.
فلا أقسم بالشفق
Nay, I swear by the twilight,
والليل وما وسق
and by the night and what it enfolds,
والقمر إذا اتسق
and by the moon when it reaches its fullness.
لتركبن طبقا عن طبق
You shall proceed onwards from stage to stage. You shall proceed onwards from stage to stage. Man's life does not remain in one state. Instead, it goes through various stages from youth to old age, from old age to death, from death to barzakh, the transitory stage between death and resurrection, from barzakh to resurrection, from resurrection to the plane of gathering, then to reckoning, and then to the meting out of reward and punishment. It is emphasized here that all this is bound to happen. This is reinforced by a sworn statement mentioning 1. The twilight, 2. The darkness of the night and the gathering together in it of those humans and animals that remain scattered during the day, and 3. The moon's passing through different phases from being a mere crescent until becoming full. These are among the phenomena that testify to the fact that the universe in which man lives is not static. On the contrary, incessant changes occur all over it. Thus, there is no basis to support the view that everything ends with a person's breathing his last.
فما لهم لا يؤمنون
So what is the matter with them that they do not believe?
وإذا قرئ عليهم القرآن لا يسجدون
And when the Quran is recited to them, they do not prostrate themselves.
بل الذين كفروا يكذبون
Instead, the unbelievers reject it, calling it a lie.
والله أعلم بما يوعون
Allah knows best what they are accumulating in their record. Allah knows best what they are accumulating in their record. This could also mean that God knows well the unbelief, the hostility to, and the rancor against the truth, and the evil intentions with which some people have filled their hearts.
فَبَشِّرْهُم بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ.
So give them the good news of a painful chastisement.
إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَهُمْ أَجْرٌ غَيْرُ مَمْنُونٍ.
Except for those who believe and do good deeds, theirs shall be an unending reward.